Alright guys, how's it going? It's me, Wendy Wilson. I am just about to start recording my heart journey, chronicling my story over the next however many months, years, or whatever. I don't have any fancy gadgets, I don't have any editing apps, you know, there'll be no music, fancy bits and bobs, datas, graphs and stuff. It's just going to be me, laid bare, raw, emotional sometimes, I suppose. What you see is what you get. So, don't know where to start really. When I normally do my Facebook, my other socials, I can talk freely, but I find this stuff a little bit more difficult because it's probably more personal. Well, it is personal, but I'm just here to try and educate if I can, maybe help, inspire, raise awareness. That's the main thing, just in case there is anybody else out there that is going through or has went through or doesn't know yet and is about to go through what I've went through. So as I said, no fancy gadgets, no editing apps or nothing, you know, it's just me, laid bare, raw and emotional. What you see is what you get. So I thought I would probably start today with the main video, the diagnosis, and then maybe next week I will do a pre-sequel, is it? Talk about my running journey up until I got diagnosed with a heart condition, and then the week after that we'll talk about a little bit more about the heart condition, what it means to me personally, and for my running journey as we move forward. Just before we go though guys, just need to make it clear 100%, I am not a medical professional, okay? Anything I talk about or anything I say or do or whatever is relative to me, okay? It's just for me only. If you've got any problems medically, you know, with your heart or whatever, please go and speak to a doctor, okay? As I said, I'm just trying to record my journey, my heart journey, my recovery over the next however many months or years. So it's just a story. So yeah, any issues, please go and speak to your doctor. So the diagnosis, need to go back to, I think, August the 12th, Murrayfield, Oasis. Me and Gusty and a mate went to the concert. Now, I don't know for sure, but I think I picked up a viral infection of some sort. I wasn't 100%, so I've picked up something. It could have been anywhere, but I was at Oasis on the Tuesday night. That was August the 12th. 4 days later, Saturday, August the 16th, I ran the Speyside Way 100k ultra race up in Aviemore up to Buckie. So I stayed in Buckie on the Friday night, headed up to get my race pack, felt week off, tickly throat, bit of sneezing and that, took a couple of paracetamol and just put it down to pre-race nerves, paranoia. Had a big race the next day, so yeah, all sorts going through my head. So as I said, picked up my race pack, took a couple of paracetamol, went away to my bed, up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get the bus. I was coughing and sneezing, and I jokingly said to a few people, I hope I've not caught something. Anyway, race started at 5 o'clock, Aviemore, everything was good. Got to mile 27, and then bang, massive wobble. I've never experienced anything like it in my life, in my normal life, never mind like my running life. My blood sugars had spiked, my heart rate spiked, sweating, palpitations, my vision, I was kind of coming and going, my breathing. There was no pain, no pressure or anything on my chest. I watched documentaries on the telly, they talk about a vice-like grip or an elephant sitting on your chest. So there was none of that, but just massive wobble. Didn't know what was happening, my breathing. Not that I've ever had a near death-like experience that I'm aware of, but that's probably as close as you're going to get. Actually, I did think it was a goner, like, it was that bad. I was with a couple other runners, so I thought to myself, you know what, if anything happens to me, they can phone 999 or phone the race director or whatever. Anyway, I was going up through a hill, steep climb, so I just thought it was maybe effort. I didn't know really, to be honest with you. Doubts begin to creep in, you know, your training, your fuel, your hydration. Anyway, I got up, got going, managed to recover, made it through checkpoint 2, which was mile 32, made it through checkpoint 3, which was mile 42. I'd stopped at both the checkpoints, 10, 15, 20 minutes, took in some hot food, some fluids, some flat coke, sorted my feet, felt good, felt no bad, got going again, and after I left each checkpoint, 3, 4, 5 miles, I was kind of steady, but then I fell away again, couldn't really recover, couldn't really get going, and then I don't know how you pronounce it, I think it's Ben Eigen, anyway, climbing up through there to level off, that was the steepest point of the race. I was okay, I was fine, I was tired, but as I came down off the hill, mile 51, got to a wee place called Bota Brig, but by then I was absolutely shattered, nothing left in the tank, and I've never really felt like that before. I've ran 15 ultras, I've obviously felt tired, but it was different. I was just, honestly, I had nothing left at all, and I was knackered anyway, so I phoned a taxi, got to the end of the race, spoke to Kyle and Debbie, I'm good friends with them, they organised the Murray Way Ultras, an official DNF, hung a bit for a wee while, then went back to the hotel, got a shower, got something to eat, went back round to the finish line, hung a bit there for a few hours. I actually felt okay on the Saturday night, to be honest with you. Just the usual doubts, you know, did I do enough in training? Was it my fuel? Was it my blood sugars? Was it just my day? Was it my hydration? You know, what happened? Anyway, I went to my bed Saturday night, woke up Sunday. Oh man, felt like, oh jeez, felt terrible. Man flu. So bunged up, coughing, sneezing. So I knew there wasn't something right. And I thought to myself, you know what, I've probably picked something up at Oasis on the Tuesday, and it's taken 3-4 days kind of to come through. Anyway, down the road on the Sunday, woke up on the Monday, wasn't feeling great. So I took that whole week off, didn't do any running at all. As I said, bad dose of man flu. Week after, I was into my taper because my main event was Glenmore 24, the 24-hour endurance event. The Speyside Way 100k Ultra, that was just a training run, so that was another reason why I decided to DNF at 51. I was absolutely shattered. I couldn't have given it any more, but I didn't want to push on. It was only 12-13 miles to the finish line, and it was just a training run. I thought if I do any more, this might, you know, cause problems for the Glenmore 24 in 3 weeks time. Anyway, so I had a 2-week taper. Didn't do a lot of big runs, 40, 50 minutes, 50, 55 minutes. I think I did one social with 5-Star Run Club, 90 minutes. Felt okay, nothing untoward. Following week, we went up to Glenmore, one of my favourite ultras, ran it twice. This year was number 3. I've always been, well, last 2 years I've been stuck on 78 miles. Can't seem to get past 78 miles. That's my PB for 24 hours. Anyway, this year, feeling good, no bad. Started the race well, managed to get into a good rhythm. I was going along steady, and then again, I had another massive wobble, mile 29. Same thing, blood sugars up, heart rate, sweat, breathing, dizzy, lightheaded, kind of vision coming and going, thinking you're going to faint, but no really fainting. It's hard to explain, but just, you feel like you're just a wee bit away from collapsing, but you just kind of bring it back. Anyway, walked a wee while, recovered, back down to see Gusty. She was crewing for me. We had the Purple Princess up, bit of food, some fluids, sort the feet, a wee hug, then off we go again. So it was mile 44, mile 45, another wobble. Same again, the breathing, the vision, the sweats, the heart rate, and I'm like, right, okay. I had really bad gut issues, diarrhea. That's for another story. But I honestly felt terrible. by the time I finished that loop, it was about 3 o'clock, and Bill had decided that there was going to be an inspection because it was really windy, it was quite stormy. So we stopped running at 3 o'clock. I had done 60 miles in 15 hours. I was feeling no bad, I suppose. Anyway, back to the camper van. They were making a final decision at 5 o'clock in the morning. So Gusty and that went down to see Bill, and the race was cancelled. So that was it, it was off. I had crashed out anyway at 3 o'clock, woke up about 4:30, 4:45. I was aching all over. I'd seized up and I was like, oh, fuck, anyway, I know it's deep down, and it's the first time ever, like I said, I've ran 15 ultras, but deep down, I didn't think I could have went much further. And when the race got called off, I know it's not so good for people that were running and having a good race, but for me personally, from a selfish point of view, I was like, you know what, I'm quite relieved actually. Anyway, usually after my big events, I take a couple of weeks off. I was feeling good. 16th of September, 10 days later. So I said to myself, you know what, I'll go out for a wee recovery run. Nothing too strenuous, 30 minutes, 15 minutes out, 15 minutes back. I'll take the dogs with me. We'll go up Dunninglen, come back, see how we feel, and then we'll look at structured training. So up I went, parked up, took the dogs out, headed off. I was only out about 8 minutes, 8.5, 9 minutes. Bang, massive wobble. Hadn't even, there was no elevation at all, no effort, no nothing. I'd only been running for like 8 or 9 minutes. Same again, the heart, the vision, the sweats, the blood sugars, the kind of vision coming and going, the rocking. I'm like, right, this is not so good. Anyway, I kind of slowed down, tried to recover, started running again, another couple of minutes, 3-4 minutes, another massive wobble. So that was like 2 wobbles in 14-15 minutes, and I'm like, nah, something not right here. So I stopped, called it a day, walked back to the van, got home, phoned the doctors, St Margaret's in Auchterarder. They've been absolutely fantastic. Got an appointment, saw my GP, had a wee chat. I had an ECG last year because of my family history. Got another ECG this year. It was okay, but she was like, we can't really explain the wobbles, which I now know to be atrial fibrillation. So let's get you referred to cardiology. So fast forward a couple of weeks, I managed to get an echocardiogram done Tuesday, September the 30th, Tuesday afternoon about 4 o'clock. And that's when cardiologist had said to me, you've got left ventricle hypertrophy, dilated left atrium, and obviously possible atrial fibrillation. So I know there's quite a few big words in there, guys, and I'm going to try and break it down as much as I can in layman's terms. It came as a massive shock to me as well. Me and Gusty have been researching over the last 2, 3, 4 years. So unknown to me, undiagnosed obviously, I've had chronic high blood pressure for, God knows how long, 2, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, who knows. So, but it's been masked by my rest and fitness, which has caused exercise-induced hypertension. So basically when I've been running, even low pace, low effort, heart rate's been low. I usually run about 122, 123, 124 beats a minute. Very rarely go above 130, 140. So unknown to me, the chronic high blood pressure had caused a thing called exercise-induced hypertension, where your systolic blood pressure decouples from your heart rate. So although I was maybe looking at my watch and thinking I'm running relatively easy, steady, heart rate's low, inside my heart, my arteries, everything was screaming, my heart was pumping, it was under so much pressure, and that in turn had caused the wall thickening of the left ventricle, which had dilated the left atrium. I'm still learning a lot about it, guys, but the left atrium is where the blood comes in from the lungs, and from there it goes into the left ventricle where it gets oxygenated, and then the rich blood gets pumped around the body. Now, because of the thicker wall in my left ventricle, it was under a bit more pressure, so the left atrium couldn't put the blood into the left ventricle, or it struggled. So because of that, because of the wall thickness and the pressure that the left ventricle was under, the blood was backing up in the left atrium, so it was slowly dilating. So everything's just been under a lot of pressure. I've been seeing a lot of things about plumbing and pumps. So the plumbing is your arteries. So my arteries have been like steel pipes, rigid, you know, no elasticity in them at all, no movement, no flexibility. And the heart, the pump, it's just been under so much pressure. I don't do what ifs, but looking back, as I said, I've ran 15 ultras, I've ran 8 marathons, 5 majors, 13 half marathons. And although there's no clinical data to back it up, this didn't happen overnight. So there's a good chance that I've ran almost all of these ultras and marathons with a heart condition, with exercise-induced hypertension, and with a systolic blood pressure of over 200, 210, 220, 230. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm here, I'm still alive, I'll manage to catch it in time, that's the main thing. With the right care, medication, we can reduce the blood pressure, which will reduce the pressure on the left ventricle, which will hopefully bring in the left atrium. I don't know the medical word for it, but you know, we will try and reverse everything. It's going to take a bit of time, guys, probably 9, 12 months, 12, 18 months. It'll be, could be a year and a half before I'm running ultras again, if I do get to run them again. I'm allowed to run just now. Zone 2, I need to keep my heart rate under 130. I haven't been out. I'm not going to go out until I get my MRI scan next week, because that'll kind of tell us one way or another, because they're looking at athlete's heart or hypertensive heart disease, depending on the scarring. Might be a bit of both. So yeah, so this is a diagnosis. It's been tough. I know it's not the end of the world. I know there are more serious heart problems out there, but for me it came as a massive shock. The undiagnosed chronic high blood pressure, the hypertension, the left ventricle, just everything. Possible stroke, possible cardiac issues. As I said, I don't like to dwell on the what ifs. It is what it is. It's done. We've caught it. We're on medication. So I'm just here trying to educate, hopefully inspire, raise awareness for anybody that might be going through a similar thing, has gone through it, or doesn't know yet. What I would say, guys, any problems at all, if you're out there doing any kind of exercise, especially running, especially ultra running, endurance running, please listen to your body. Get your blood pressure checked. If you've got high blood pressure, get that sorted out. And that's about it, guys. As I said, this is the main video, the first video, the diagnosis. Next week, we'll do the pre-sequel. So we'll talk about Windy the runner, up until he found out he had a heart condition. And then next week, we'll maybe talk a wee bit more about the heart condition, how my running's changed, how it's going to change, vascular adaptation, and left ventricle hypertrophy reversal, which will probably take 12 to 18 months, maybe a couple of years, who knows. Main thing is, I'm still here, we've caught it in time, and with the right care and medication, hopefully we can reverse it, and I'll be out running soon. Okay guys, right, thanks for listening.